Welcome back to the Piping Pastor, and happy Halloween. As you can tell by the attire, it's still warm in El Paso. Here we are knocking on the door of November, and I'm still wearing polos and linen shorts. There are some hopeful signs. However, it's getting cold overnight, and the other day I went for a run about 5:30 in the morning, and it was 45 degrees outside. So we're getting there. I'm losing hope I'll be able to wear my smoking jacket at all. But hope springs eternal. So speaking of the day of time, well, first of all, I'm smoking in my Boswell billiard pipe. I'm smoking some Haunted Pirate Ship, finally. I was like, you know what? It's been at least a month. I think it's probably been more like 6 weeks if I really looked at it. That's long enough. The great thing about this blend, and yeah, it's not a blend Cornell and Deal actually does. You just mix Pirate Cake and Haunted Bookshop 50-50, jar it up, stick it for a month, and then Bob's your uncle. But it's a wonderful blend. I mean, Pirate Cake and Haunted Bookshop by themselves are good, right? But this is one of those rare occasions where when you put them together, it doesn't get muddled. It doesn't one overtake the other. It's just a fantastic, comes out as like a really fantastic English, really top end English. So I got this blend recipe courtesy of Cliff Higgins, the Pipe Ninja. So thank you, Cliff. I really enjoy it. So Halloween, All Hallows Eve, the night before All Saints Day. I did a video on this a couple years ago, I think, about whether Christians should or should not celebrate this holiday. And really, I mean, it comes down to you and your decision. The holiday itself, it's really not a holiday as such. If you look at Samhain, which is the Celtic celebration, that is, that's not a parade you take the kids to. But there's a difference between that and letting your kids dress up like Superman and go door to door getting candy. I mean, like I say, I'm not gonna reiterate this entire conversation because I've done this once before in a previous video, and you're welcome to come back and look at that if you'd like to. But at the end of the day, you just if you're secure in your faith and you have raised your children in the faith and instructed them in the way of the Lord, your faith will not be so fragile that dressing up, as Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes and getting a couple Snicker bars is going to send you to hell. And if you are a Christian and you're passing out candy, go ahead. You want to include a Bible tract? Knock yourself out. But don't just hand out Bible tracts. Let them taste and see that the Lord is good. But in any case, so Halloween and Christmas cakes. Oh, before I get to the Christmas cake part, have a birthday in and around this time. I'm not going to get specific, identity theft. But as part of my gifts, I got some wonderful new books. So I have 3 here. The first one is the Silmarillion. And this is the all 3 of these versions. I got the Silmarillion, the Hobbit, and the Lord of the Rings. And all of them are the special hardback edition that have Tolkien's original illustrations in them. So all the little paintings and the drawings, and he did a lot more than I had thought. I knew he did a drawing of Smaug, and I knew he had done some other like landscape stuff. But he did quite a few illustrations. And you wouldn't think of a linguist being like a talented artist, but it's really cool looking stuff. And I've started getting into the Silmarillion, which is essentially it's the cosmology, the creation narrative of Tolkien's world, and it's really very good. You can see there are some definite parallels between Christian theology and the Christian creation narrative and Tolkien's. I'm not saying he's ripping it off, because he goes into quite a bit of depth, and you can see there's a play there of some Norse and Greek mythology intermixed with some Christian creation narratives and so forth. With little Zoroastrian influence, you can see all these different strands of cosmologies that kind of come together and coalesce in his version, and it's pretty awesome. You do have to keep notes on names, though. Being the linguist that he is, he's like, "Oh, this person's name is this," but the elves call them this, and then these people call them that. Which makes sense, right? I mean, if you're talking about an entire world, you're talking about divine beings. There's going to be different names for them at different places, different times, and there's going to be different names how they refer to themselves, right? So, but very, very cool. Very much enjoying that. So, second thing, it's Christmas cake time. So I wait until like the 1st of November so that we have like a full, 6-7 weeks, just shy of, of 2 months for the cake to age and go through the whole process and everything. And I started this little annual tradition. This will be my 3rd year doing it here in the States. Because it was 4 years ago when Brother Bob, Trucking Piper Bob, out there in the UK, did his Christmas cake video, because he does one every year as well. And I commented, I was like, man, I really wish. That's what I really miss that a lot. They really do Christmas well in Scotland, in the UK generally speaking. But I love those Christmas time treats. The Christmas cake and the Christmas puddings and the mince pies and all these things that come out at Christmas time out there. I really miss that, and I really miss the Christmas cakes. Those were always really, really good. And he responded to my comment. He's like, "Why don't you just make one?" I was like, "Yeah, why don't I just make one?" So I began. I said, "This will be my 3rd year doing it." And the first year, I found a recipe online. It was okay. I mean, it worked out well. It was enjoyable. I liked it. The rest of the family doesn't really care for the whole Christmas cake thing. So, they would have a piece or two to kind of, like, oh, because obviously Dad put a lot of time into this. But they weren't really in love with that recipe. So I tried a different recipe last year and got a little closer to the mark. So my wife commented that it seems like I'm getting better year over year. So this year I'm giving it a go again, and I'm going to include some pictures of the beginning phases here. It's just a layout of the stuff to get started with. So the dried fruit will be chopped up and soaked in the brandy, and along with the orange and the lemon peel, which I'll peel really thin, and then julienne, and then I'll soak those all in brandy for probably a couple of days, and then drain off the excess brandy, mix it in, and mix the cake up. So I will when I get to the mixing part, I might do a video of that, or I might do some more snippet videos of stuff as things progress. Because today I'll probably get the fruit going, and then so today's Friday, so probably Sunday I'll probably bake the cake. So I'll probably try to get some pictures on Sunday of baking the cakes. And you have to bake it, and then dry it, and then feed it brandy, once a week for a long time, and then cover it in marzipan, let it dry out, and then ice it, and then finally you get to eat it. So, like I said, it's a long process, but well worth it. So, anyway, so that is it for this video. No comparative analysis today, just a wee chat because I'm enjoying some haunted pirate ship and my new books. So I'm going to get back to reading. Obviously, I set aside the Anglo-Saxon poetry book after I got those because I'm delving straight into the Silmarillion. So I've already got some really cool ideas from this. So I think there'll be some interesting poetry, quote unquote, and the Bible discussions that can come out of this too, especially with Genesis. So, but we will get into that in the coming weeks. So I hope you are having lovely fall weather wherever you are. Hope you have a great week. As always, happy reading.